Henry, when you stop believing in yourself, I want you to listen to this. New to the series? Welcome. Regular listener? Well, then I want you to take a moment and look at your son, sons, daughter, daughters, and just hit that pause button. We've reflected so much over the last 60 episodes of what started out as a mini-series back in 2025. This week, I want you to take a note, either verbally and record something or write something down. You can download it, save it somewhere, or write it out and place it in an envelope with your child's name on and hold on to it. This week and next week, we're going to continue the theme and have opportunities for us to reflect on who our children are and leave them with something that's going to bring you closer together, or something that they'll receive at some point in the future or right now. So this week we're moving on. We spent time creating a message for our youngest and reflecting on who they are. Now let's spend time creating something unique for your eldest. I'll be honest, I needed to do this. Life, well, it's been chaotic. Max and Henry, well, they're completely different characters. Where one has energy, the eldest takes his time to warm up. He's a different character entirely. So when life's challenging, he needs that extra encouragement. Both boys, they're growing up so fast. And Henry is fighting to be treated like a teenager. And Maxie, well, he's just getting swept up in that crazy world of school life. And their childhood, it feels like it's slipping through our fingers. So this week, I'm focused on my message for H. And I encourage you to do the same. Let the message give you renewed perspective on the realities of parenting your kids. Create a moment to be grateful, but most importantly, just reflect on the brilliance of those little people and the lives that you're shaping. Because sometimes, well, you know, this parenting gig is just hard. They fight you, they shout at you, their raw honesty catches you out from time to time. It even leaves you questioning your sanity. And like I said last week, sometimes you don't see what the outside world is seeing. You see the worst, the best, the anger, the frustration, the uncertainty, that lack of confidence, the laughter, the caring nature of your kids, their defiance, their grumpiness, their love, their warmth. And sometimes, well, it's you who needs to take that step back from the chaos of raising children to see them for who they really are. So take a second before we jump in and answer me this. If you had a chance to share how you felt about your child or children, something that would light them up, something that could live with them, something that would underpin the way they feel about themselves, would you take that chance? Welcome back to Answer Me This, part of Fatherhood in Focus from the Modern Fatherhood Club. I'm Aidan, father of two, speaker, and founder of the Modern Fatherhood Club. I started this movement because I believe something has to change. Modern fatherhood, it's changed, but our preparation, well, it hasn't. Today, we're expected to be more present, more supportive, more emotionally available, and more involved than ever before. Yeah, most of us, we start this journey on the back foot, and we're just expected to figure it out as we go. We're expected to see what's on the horizon and plan for it, even when we're not clear on what is expected of us or what we need to do to meet the needs of those we love the most. Now, we prepare for exams, we prepare for our careers, even for marriage. But the greatest leadership role most of us are going to ever have, that's the one we're least prepared for. And my friend, that's why the Modern Fatherhood Club exists. Our mission is simple: preparing fathers, strengthening families, changing the future. Because every child deserves a dad who's ready, who's prepared. Not a perfect dad, just a prepared one. Everything we create, from this podcast to our free resources, the ultimate new dad toolkit, our programs, and our community, it's all built around one promise. Helping you become the father your children need and the man your family deserves. Now, if you've listened or watched before, you know the deal. Every week, I ask one question. Not because there's always a perfect answer, but because the questions you and I are avoiding, well, they're often the ones that shape the fathers we become. But it's not just about that. Every answer changes how you think. And how you think, well, that changes who they see. It changes how you show up. So this week, I'm talking to Henry. So H, if you somehow stumbled across this message, I want you to know this. Life doesn't always turn out as planned. Sometimes we don't get what we set out to achieve. Sometimes the effort doesn't always deliver the end result. And maybe as you're listening to this, you're thinking, life hasn't turned out the way that you wanted. Maybe at times you've been knocked back. Maybe someone made you question yourself. Maybe today you are questioning yourself. Perhaps you don't believe you can do it or overcome whatever the challenges you're facing. If that's true, then I need you to hear my voice for a few minutes. Not because I have all the answers, because son, I don't. I fail, I fall, I lose, I struggle. And I don't have all the answers because I've stood exactly where you're standing. I know how you feel. I know what it's like to question yourself. And I know how easy it is to mistake disappointment for who you are. But this is the question I need you to answer. When did you stop believing in yourself? Why did you stop? I need you to know this as you think about the answer. Nobody wakes up one morning without confidence. It disappears quietly. One disappointment, one rejection, one comparison, one missed opportunity at a time. Until eventually, well, you start believing the story instead of yourself. I know because I did. I'm blessed to have you in my life. You opened my eyes. You brought a smile to some darker times. You gave me something that I felt for a long time I'd lost. You gave me clarity, purpose, direction. I didn't see it immediately. I didn't feel it straight away. And I think it's an uncomfortable position many men are put in as they try to find their feet in early fatherhood. But I need you to know this. Life is what you make of it. The depth of my love for you, it has no limit. It's tested me. It made me question things. It's challenged me. But above everything, it's made me a better person. So son, I need you to know this. You're more like me than you probably realize. There are parts of you that remind me of myself. You think deeply. You notice things other people miss. You want to understand before you move. You care. You worry. And sometimes the world feels too big. Like everyone else around you has got it all figured out. And from time to time, it doesn't matter what you've achieved, it can still feel like failure. Sometimes you care too much. You want to get it right. You don't want to make a mistake. You feel like all eyes are on you, even when the room is busy, loud, and people are lost in conversation. At your core, you want things to make sense. And when they don't, you get frustrated. At times, it can feel overwhelming too. It can feel like everything's spinning out of control, like you're not even close to figuring it out. But son, that's not weakness. It's simply something you'll need to learn to lead. Because your greatest strengths can become your biggest obstacles if you don't understand them. And I think every son needs to know more about their dad. It feels at times like we're distant figures, hidden behind the strain of daily life, distracted, frustrated. But one thing I made sure of was I was there. And I guess if I had my time again, I'd have been more open. Not because you need to know all the detail, but you need to know what love is, what hard work is, what integrity is. So today, I need you to know this. There was a time when I stopped trusting myself. Not overnight, but slowly. There were times I didn't know who I was or where I was heading. And that led me to believe I'd missed my chance, that I'd failed, that I wasn't living up to what I was capable of becoming. So instead of building a life I believed in, I chased approval, chased promotions, I chased achievement, I chased someone else telling me I'd finally done enough. I chased acceptance. The strange thing is, the more I achieved, the emptier I felt. Because, son, achievement can never replace self-belief. And I learned that the hard way. But you don't have to. Your strength, your confidence, your self-worth, your love for yourself, your patience, pride, passion, determination, they all come from within. Nobody else can be the source of love and compassion that you hold for you. As I write this on the riverbank, watching you paddle in knee-deep river water, this is what I hope you understand earlier than I did. Your value doesn't rise when you win, and it doesn't disappear when you lose. Take a moment, listen to that again, because life, it will reward input. And your input, well, it determines your outcomes. The more we commit, the stronger chance we have of delivering whatever it is we're after. Your character, well, it's built by choices. The world will clap when you're successful. The people who truly love you, well, they simply want you to come home. They'll still want your affection, your love and attention, regardless of your result. So never confuse applause with belonging. The applause only lasts so long. And when it's gone, well, you either find yourself in silence alone or surrounded by the people that matter, the people that love you, the people that raise you up, even when life's hard and unrelenting. My boy, I thought about this for longer than I can remember. These are the 5 things I hope become your compass, your guide, the things that bring you back time and time again. So back yourself before anyone else does. Belief borrowed from other people disappears the moment that they leave. Build your own. Focus on the things that you're good at. Improve the things that need work. But never lose sight of what you're capable of doing and becoming. Never believe the hype. But focus on the things that spark you into life, that build the fuel needed to push on and deliver when it matters most. Please don't become careful with your potential. Take the shot. Never focus on the miss. Understand that you're going to miss more than you score. But every miss, well, it's that chance to learn something new. Apply, start, ask, speak, love, build, fail, repeat. Son, fear grows in waiting. Fear grows in delay. Confidence, well, it grows in doing. It grows with every step forward, even when you're not sure. And confidence, it strengthens when we miss the first time and get up again. And the third thing, well, comparison steals more dreams than failure ever will. You'll meet people who are smarter, richer, faster, further ahead. Good. Learn from them. But never let another man's timeline become your prison. Run your own race. Life is there to be lived. Opportunity lies around every corner. But if you focus on the opposition or the man that has more, then you lose sight of what you need to do to get the result that you've been chasing. There will always be someone further ahead, someone that has more, someone people gravitate to. What you need to remember is that your self-belief is what will inspire you to take risks, take on challenges, fail, succeed. And resilience, well, it's going to be built every step of the way. In a world where we're obsessed with others and what they've achieved, we must not focus on what they have, simply what they put in to get where they are. There will be false hope, fake stories, success handed to people on a plate. That's where what you know versus what you see will shape how you move. Don't believe the lies. Research the stories, see the effort needed to succeed. Learn from the best. Learn from those that have respect of others and that aren't out to abuse their position or power. But son, you've got to understand the difference. And if you do, well, you'll be clear on your next step. If we look at number 4, be kind. Not because people deserve it, because kindness protects your own character. Don't let difficult people decide who you become. Kindness is your superpower. Kindness of words, kindness in action. People will treat you differently. They won't be kind. But no matter what, never lose sight of the importance of kindness. Kindness brings people closer. It earns respect. It creates space to spend time with the people that matter. Kind actions, well, they speak louder than any words. But kindness, well, it starts with the people you love. It starts with making space. It starts with appreciation for the world around you without letting it shadow who you are and who you're becoming. And Henry, this last one, this is where I wish I'd found myself. Find work that lets you come alive. Success without meaning, well, it eventually feels empty. So build something that makes you proud to wake up. Not something that simply impresses other people. Build something that lights you up. You see, we're taught to fall into line. But if you're listening to this, be the free spirit, confident, outgoing, ready for anything person you were born to be. We fall into line when we're not brave enough to change direction, tackle new things, or when we're stuck. And stuck is the worst place you can find yourself. You and Max, you taught me to follow my heart, follow my gut, pursue something that mattered, something that made me smile, something I'd fail at 100 times over and still keep going. You and Max inspired me to see more than what I had. But here's the challenge you're going to face. Security over following your passion. Because passion doesn't always lead to security, but it can. And that's why it's worth chasing down that dream, living, loving, feeling alive. Right now, if you're listening, it doesn't matter where you are or what you've done. But I want you to take a look at yourself in the mirror and see who you've become. And ask yourself, is this the man I truly want to be? And if the answer is no, or you're not sure, then go for it. Follow your heart, pursue that dream, live an adventure, leave nothing to chance. And I say all of this because, Henry, you're special. You've always been special. You've always given me a reason to fight for something different. I might not make it, or even have made it, but know this. The thing I admire most about you, it isn't your ability, it isn't your intelligence, it isn't anything you've achieved. It's this. You keep trying. even when you're frustrated, even when things feel difficult, even when you're unsure. Don't lose that. Most people stop because they're afraid of looking foolish. Keep being that person willing to begin again. That's where extraordinary lives are built. In Cyprus, when you were young, I watched you every night for a week trying to scale a climbing wall. Every time you got a little closer to the top, every night you struggled to hit that buzzer, and then you did it. It wasn't first time, but you did it. That's the night I knew, no matter the setback or test, you'd do it. So my son, whatever it is you achieve, you'll always be my fuel, always be the brightest spark. My boy, life is going to hit you hard. You will lose, and maybe it'll even break your heart. And it probably will. Someone will leave, something won't work, dreams will change, plans will fall apart. When they do, don't rush to become someone else. Stay close to yourself. Slow down, think, reflect, learn, reset, and then stand back up. Strength has never been about avoiding the fall. Your resilience is built because you tried. A small step is much better than no step. And trusting yourself after a fall, well, that's only going to build resilience quicker. Strength, well, it's about refusing to let the fall become your identity. Henry, I love you and always will. What I hope you remember about me, I hope you don't remember me as someone who always had the answers. I hope you remember me as someone who kept learning. I hope you remember that I pushed you because I believed that you had more in the tank, that you have the capacity for greatness. It doesn't matter what form that greatness takes. I just want you to know that I was in your corner and always will be. And I had to push because nobody pushed me. Henry, remember me because I apologized when I got things wrong. I loved you loudly. I tried. I kept getting back up because that's all I ever wanted for you. Not perfection, progress. Not certainty, just curiosity. Not comfort, but growth. The willingness to silence the noise and focus on the people that mattered. One day, you'll become the man that your children look up to. When that day comes, I hope they don't inherit my mistakes. I hope they inherit what those mistakes taught me. I hope they see a man who trusts himself, who keeps his word, who isn't afraid to love deeply, who knows exactly who he is, even when life tries to convince him otherwise. And if there's one thing I want you to carry long after my voice has gone, it's this. The world will spend your entire life telling you who you should become. Spend just as much time remembering who you are already, because I have believed in you, and I believed in you long before you ever learned how to believe in yourself. I love you, Henry. Always. That's today's conversation. If there's one thing I'd love you to take away, it's this. Love your kids and tell them. These words can echo forever, but they've got to be heard now. Because your children, they're not going to remember every word you said. They'll remember how you made them feel. They'll remember whether you were present, whether you listened, whether you kept showing up. That's why this work we're doing together matters. As always, write it down, dive into the detail, and create something so powerful and unique that you cannot wake up and not move toward it. These episodes are designed to get to the core of the man you are, and reflecting on a message to your son or daughter, well, it can become a powerful reset or a line in the sand. Maybe even help you realize some things, well, they just need more effort, more time, and some reflection, well, it fills your cup just as much as it does theirs. Remember, if you get this right, well, they're going to live how you lived, love how you loved, listen how you listened, prioritize the way that you did, and show up in the lives of those that loved the most, just as you did. At the Modern Fatherhood Club, we are on a mission to prepare fathers, strengthen families, and help change the future. Because every child deserves a father who is ready to lead with love, courage, and intention. If today's episode gave you something to think about, please subscribe, leave a review, or share it with another dad. You see, one conversation, well, it can change a father. One father, well, he can change a family. If you're ready to go further, visit the Modern Fatherhood Club for free resources, the ultimate new dad toolkit. Our programs and practical support are all designed to help you prepare, not just react, to the greatest role. Thank you for investing in yourself, your family, and your future. Until next time, keep preparing, keep showing up, because the father you become, well, it shapes the childhood they remember. I'll see you in the next episode.